From the courts in Wilmington, Chapel Hill, and Chicago to the owner's suite he occupies today, his life and example have inspired millions of Americans to strive to be like Mike.
If Michael Jordan was the greatest player in NBA history, and he is, then he has to be paired with one of the greatest commercials of all time in Be Like Mike, which sang what we all felt.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be.
I dream I move, I dream I groove like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
When people compare Kobe Bryant or LeBron James to Jordan, they only look at his on-court impact. However, Jordan's off-court impact was something unique in the history of sports. He wasn't just a ball player, he was a superhero. He was the man everyone wanted to be.
You know, you want to be fast like Isaiah, and you want to shoot like Bird, you know, rebound like Barkley, pass like Magic, be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like Mike. You know what I mean?
He was the most watchable player the league had ever seen. The things he did were utterly unique. The way he moved and grooved were otherworldly. It had an impact on not only the game, but on the way the whole world watched the game, quite literally. In Jordan's rookie season, the NBA received $23 million in broadcast rights from CBS and another $10 million in broadcast rights from TBS. 1 year after he retired, the NBA was receiving $400 million a year from NBC and another $210 million from TNT and TBS. That's a total TV revenue increase of $877 million in one career. It went beyond that though. The products Jordan endorsed, Nike, Gatorade, Chevrolet, McDonald's, and much more made money hand over fist off of him.
You and me for my Big Mac?
Fortune magazine calculated his economic impact on the game as upward of $10 billion. He's still hauling in approximately $300 million a year of endorsement money a full 22 years after he's played. But we almost didn't get to be like Mike at all. The ad was created in 1992 by creative director Bernie Pitzel at Chicago-based agency Bayer Best Van Werker. Yes, those are real names. The original idea was to air Jordan footage set to the tune of I Wanna Be Like You from Disney's movie The Jungle Book. However, as they tend to do, negotiations for the rights to the song fell through. This was because Disney wanted $350,000 for a 5-week use of the song, and wouldn't let them change the lyrics or include the line Be Like Mike, something that was non-negotiable for either side. In an effort to bypass Disney, Pitzel took it upon himself to write his own adaptation of I Wanna Be Like You. The newly created song Be Like Mike elevated the campaign. Bernie says it best when describing the legacy of the song.
It worked out way better that Disney didn't want to do it, because there never would have been that song, and it never would have resonated like it did, like it has.
Gatorade loves the song so much that they've remastered it, remixed it, and reused the same ad for the past 28 years, most recently showing up in the commercial breaks on ESPN's Last Dance documentary. And if you've seen that documentary, you'd know that Jordan, for all of his basketball skills, wasn't really the person we'd all want to be. His gambling problems were the first thing to surface, allegedly owing $1.25 million in gambling on a game of golf. There's even a book, Michael and Me, Our Gambling Addiction, on the subject. Jordan's problems don't end there. He's also had what was at the time the most expensive celebrity divorce in history. It cost him $168 million, some of which he paid as hush money to his lover to keep silent about their affair. He failed as part owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. He drafted one of the biggest overall #1 flops in the history of the game, Conway Brown, when Tyson Chandler and Pau Gasol were the next 2 picks taken. He gave a scathing Hall of Fame speech. Many viewed the speech as petty, being more concerned with settling old scores than accepting the honor being bestowed on him.
And Jerry Krause is right there, and Jerry's not here. Obviously, I don't know who invited him. I didn't, but I hope he understands.
Jordan is fascinating in that he's the perfect example of what the problem has become with the way we view our professional athletes. We demand them to be more than what they are, then we despise them for being what they aren't. Stars are as flawed as we are, and sometimes idolizing them blinds us to that fact. Maybe we shouldn't try to be like anyone. Sure, there's things we can learn from anyone who reaches such a pinnacle of success, but there's nothing that says we have to take all or nothing with athletes. Appreciate what makes them great. If the world had a work ethic like Mike, we'd have colonized Mars by now instead of needing Jordan to save us from it. And in that way, we should all want to be like Mike.